Hey, fifth grade saxophone players, Mr. Lenz here. Great job in your first lesson today. Man, that was a blast. Good to make our first sounds together. I just want to provide a video here just with some reminders on how we put the instrument together and how to hold the instrument. Really, that's just the hardest part of saxophone is putting it together and figuring out how to hold it. Once we get that, you'll be in tip-top shape. So, first of all, how to put the reed on. The thing I do first is I take that reed out of the case and then I stick it in my mouth so I can start getting it spitty like we talked about before I put it on the mouthpiece. So just like that, you'll put it on your tongue and just let it kind of soak in your spit. That helps the reed to vibrate the way it should when we're playing, so that's a good first step. So what you're going to do is put that reed in your mouthpiece, or put that reed in your mouth, and then you're going to grab the mouthpiece here. Now we have the mouthpiece and the ligature. Now there's a big end and a small end on the ligature. You'll know if you get it right because the ligature will go on all the way. If you put it on the wrong way, small end like that, it won't go on all the way and it'll get stuck. So it'll tell you if you do it right or wrong. So that's the two things you'll need here. So you'll take that reed out of your mouth now that you got it kind of soaked in your spit, like that. Then you'll notice that there's a flat side to the reed here and a rounded side. Usually the flat side has the name brand on the back of the reed there. The other side is blank. So the flat side, which is the side with the letters on it, will go on the flat side of the mouthpiece, like this. So you're going to just set it on the mouthpiece square like that. And I always like to put it on there and then just hold it with my thumb. Okay? That seems to be a pretty good way to keep that thing still on the mouthpiece while we're putting the ligature on. And then we just slide the ligature right over top of the mouthpiece here. Okay? Be careful not to bump the end of the reed like we talked about in your lesson. This part's really fragile. If you bump it with the ligature or touch it too hard with your fingers, it'll split it or crack it, and then that reed is done. And you have to get a new one out of your box there. So just watch out for that, okay? So be careful at the end of the reed. You're going to put that ligature on, pull it down like that to get it tight on there. Make sure that your reed is perfectly square with the end of the mouthpiece. You can see how it's square with the tip of the mouthpiece and the sides of the mouthpiece there, okay? So you'll put that on there, and then you're going to tighten the screws up here. That's got your mouth, and then you have your mouthpiece together. Then you'll grab the neck of the saxophone. Okay, and you just grab right here over top of the mouthpiece, making sure not to touch the tip of the reed here. That's how those reeds get cracked sometimes. And you just kind of push and twist it on. Should be about that far on the neck when you put that on. And again, it should look like this, so the reed side is down. Okay. Now, for your first few times practicing, maybe your first week, this is where you'll start practicing making sounds on the neck and mouthpiece here. So you can stop and do that if you'd like. Now, how to put this in here, there's a little bit or a little screw here. You're just going to loosen up 1 or 2 turns. You don't have to unscrew the screw all the way. And then you'll put the neck in the saxophone like this and just kind of push and twist until it falls in. Tighten that up. Just snug. You don't have to wrench on it real hard. Now, the other thing is you want to make sure you have your neck strap. Okay, so it should look like this, and there's a little thing here to adjust the length on it. So you'll put that on, and that will have to probably be about halfway up. You'll find out what the right height is for you. Then you're going to clip it on the ring on the back of the instrument, just like that. The saxophone should rest off to the side, and when you are holding it just up like this, you don't need to hold the instrument up. The neck strap should hold the horn up for you. And it should hit right at your mouth. Notice right now it's hitting at my chin if I'm sitting up nice and tall. So you don't have to go to the saxophone like this. You want the saxophone to come to you. So bring that neck strap up just a little bit more if it's like that, and then it'll be right where it needs to be. Now let's talk about how to hold the instrument. So off to the side here, on the back of the instrument, we have these little black island, I don't know, that's probably what you could call it. That's where your thumb goes. So your left-hand thumb goes on this black island. So your left-hand thumb. And then on the front side, you're going to skip this top key. You'll go to this one here, and then you'll skip that little key, and you go to this one for your second finger, this one for your third finger. So it should look like that. If you have these 2 keys on your horn, usually those aren't indented like these 3 are, so it'll feel different. Okay, so this is where your fingers go. 1, 2, 3, and that will line up with your fingering chart. Now your right hand, which if you're right-handed, that's the hand you write with, will go underneath this thumb rest here. About where the skin meets the fingernail is where that thumb should be. Okay, and then your fingers will go on these 3 pearls down here. 1, 2, 3, just like that. So that's where your hand position should be. Now, some things to watch out for is make sure that you're not bumping these side keys here when you're playing, okay? Because that can cause all sorts of squeaks and squawks. Also, these palm keys here, make sure that you're not bumping these palm keys when you're playing. That can cause squeaks and squawks too. So we want to make sure our hand is kind of in that C shape for both hands so that it gets around those keys. So hands on the saxophone just like that. And it should look like this, off to the side. And your neck strap should be adjusted so you don't have to hold the saxophone up. You should be able to just almost let go, but you're just kind of bringing it to you like this, but you're not holding the instrument up. And that's how you put the saxophone together, and that's how you hold it. Good luck in your first practice session. We'll see you in your next lesson.